Welcome, everybody. It is another week of Lecture Hall brought to you by Student Union Sports. It's your boy Big Hoppa, aka BC Hops on Twitter. We got Harry Shooter Sillings across from me on the call. We got another great one. Last week's draft episode. Your boy had to head out. He had baby daddy and daddy duty. We're living the dream. Check out my boy Harry at Twitch35 on Twitter. Harry, what a long week. I thought we'd never get here, man. How are you?
Oh, no kidding, dude. That draft episode feels like it was a year ago. Pretty good mood. Happy with the Colts draft. Getting ready to play some NCAA here tomorrow night, I think, and doing a little video editing on the side. What about you, big guy?
Living the dream. Just been, just living it, man. We're playing daddy duty. I got my theme on today. We got some good topics today. Everybody, Twitter right now is blowing up about me showing some skin from the when I was wearing my high school baseball jersey. So I went back to showing some skin. We're going to talk about the Last Dance, the MJ doc. So, I went with my GOAT. Went with my theme for the week, my GOAT. Jason Williams, a.k.a. White Chocolate, the best person ever handled a basketball. I implore everybody to go watch Jason Williams highlights. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's jump right in to the doc. As somebody who is actually, so let me start here. If you're going to give your top three hairs in MJ, LeBron, and Kobe, what's your rankings?
See, I really can't stand LeBron, but I think that what he has done on the basketball court, as whiny as he is, he's probably better than Kobe. I'm not going to concede that he's better than Jordan, so I'm going to go Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, even though I think there's a case for Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. I don't know. That's a tough one to rank, but I think you have to have Jordan number one there.
Okay. Personally, it's that Jordan LeBron is a tough one for fear of getting absolutely toasted. I'm going to say MJ, LeBron, Kobe as well, but very few people, LeBron is in the top 10 in points, rebounds, and assists all time. Michael isn't. That's just one thing. That's all I have to say there. Oh, boy. That's all I got to say. So we'll leave it at that. Let's first start with, let's just talk episode 1 and 2. I think my biggest gripe is the order. And I feel like a lot of other people have that feeling as well, at least from what I've seen, that people don't like how jumpy it's been, not going quite totally chronologically. I think that's my biggest gripe. What's your biggest gripe?
Yeah, it is kind of weird how it jumps from talking about him in high school and college, so then going back to 1998 and then back to North Carolina, or his rookie year, and then back to beginning of the season in 98. It's kind of confusing. It didn't really mess with me that much until that Rodman episode, I think the third one.
Yeah.
I don't really have any complaints about it right now, because it's literally after between that and the draft, it's the only sports available. So yeah. I have really no complaints. I'm really enjoying it at the moment.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's interesting to see. I actually had an interesting conversation with my mom this morning over Zoom. We were Zooming with the baby and my mom. And it was interesting because she obviously lived it. I'm born in 99, so I'm pretty much out of the any relevancy there. But she's always been a huge sports fan, so she said it was interesting living through it and looking back and that kind of stuff, and how she thinks that they've highlighted them a little bit about Michael's insecurities about wanting to be the greatest ever, and I think definitely the story that came out with LeBron beating the Warriors in the 2016 finals, and then him saying to make the documentary, to release the tapes. Like, I think that's like the biggest showing, and it's kind of like it's interesting because like he's somebody who's so like hard-headed and like so above the rest that like for somebody like that to have some insecurities is kind of funny. And like even with his strength in the last episode too.
Yeah, I think that I think like the what you're saying about LeBron winning in 2016 and then Jordan given the okay for this doc. I think that just kind of comes with like this generation is just so like horny for LeBron James, and like no one really like no one our age really knows like who MJ was. So
Right.
like people like are quick to like say, oh, LeBron's easily better when they don't know a ton about Jordan or really like that era of basketball, because all they've known is LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, etc. So I think that's LeBron saying, all right, we got to show these guys like what we were really about like back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's they're two different like totally different walks of life and totally different era. And one question my mom posed to me, she had a lot of really good questions and a lot of good talking points this morning, so that's why I'm bringing them up. But she said like, do I think that is LeBron because of MJ, or do I think it is like something that's totally separate? And it made me think. In my mind, I was like, well, when you look at it, like LeBron was LeBron like the whole time, where like his natural talent, like from coming out of high school, like was pretty apparent. Where you have MJ kind of on the other side of the spectrum, where like he was extremely talented. That being said, like we saw he struggled at the beginning in North Carolina, and then like found that gear and has had like that work ethic like nobody's business, and like that's what they like continue to pound into our head with this documentary is like nobody wants it more than Michael. So it was an interesting question that she posed. And I said I don't know, because like with like LeBron's age, I mean, he extremely young, like when Jordan started playing and that kind of stuff. But he did grow up. Like he would have grown up. Obviously, I don't know his day-to-day life, but he would have grown up watching Michael, if he's going to be watching basketball. So it was an interesting question that I just obviously you have to ask those two about. But I don't know what do you think?
Yeah, first shout out Mama Hoppa for giving us our topics for the show today.
She'll love it. She listens to every episode, so she'll appreciate that, Harrison.
But I don't know. I think you can kind of ask the same question, not to throw it back to golf, but like, are like Justin Thomas and Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth, are they like the professional golfers they are today because of like growing up watching Tiger? Like really very big popular golf podcast asked what's his name, like Colin Morikawa. Yeah, they asked him that same question the other day. But going back to the LeBron MJ thing, I think that anytime there's like that surreal of a superstar in whatever sport that you're concentrating on, that like you want to grow up to be them, and it just like kind of depends if you have the work ethic and obviously like the gifted ability to like grow up and achieve that. But I think in LeBron's case, there's definitely like an argument there. Like if you take that whole era of basketball and just don't have Michael Jordan in it, is like who are you like looking up to like to strive to be? Because like Larry and Magic are coming out, especially in the 90s, and then in the 90s, what do you have? You have like Pippen would still be there, but he probably wouldn't be a Bull. You'd have Charles Barkley. I'm blanking on 90s stars at the moment, and then like the next GOAT would be Kobe, and like LeBron would be too old really for like Kobe to be like that idol that he grows up wanting to be like, because he'd be getting ready to play against him.
Yeah, I know that they're like LeBron and Kobe are like relatively speaking the same age, so it's not like a totally different like era for them. Obviously, Kobe dominated like the early 2000s, a little like a couple years before LeBron got in. But yeah, I mean, Barkley, like Malone, you say even Ewing, but even like those guys, Reggie Miller might be one that might be a little bit more accurate. But like there's probably somebody, people are probably screaming at us like, "Hey, idiots!" But like, I mean, for real, it's a totally valid point, and that actually is a perfect segue into the next question that my mom asked me that I was like was wondering too, is like I kind of relate two different scenes together. So, the scene from the third and fourth episodes when Michael doesn't want to watch what Isaiah Thomas had to say about the no handshake and how he said it's hindsight, like he's had this long to talk about it. So, keeping that in mind, going to Magic Johnson was on, I believe, the Today Show. I want to say it was Monday, and they asked him about. It was one of those morning shows, I don't remember, but they asked him about the moment with him hugging Michael between the locker rooms after Michael beat the Lakers, and Magic had said that it was the passing of the torch. And when she brought that up to myself, I was like, well, hold on, wait a minute, because Larry's still here. Like, you have, I mean, ESPN made a 30 for 30 on the Celtics and the Lakers. Like, those two went at it forever. And so, like, for me, I was like, with that whole hindsight thing in mind, like, people probably put Magic a little bit above Larry. But like, you could definitely use hindsight to be like, oh yeah, that was a passing of the torch. Like, that's not something that he's going to say in 92 or whatever, that first year they won the finals. I don't know how you feel about that or what you think of that, but
Yeah, like obviously that's something that you don't think about really until after Magic's out of the league and he's looking back on his career and he can pinpoint like a moment of like, yeah, this is when things started to change, when like I went to a finals that wasn't against Larry and couldn't get the job done. Like obviously that's a hindsight thing. But then like going back to the Pistons walking off the court, like when ESPN made the 30 for 30 about the Bad Boys Pistons, like they spent so much time talking about how the Celtics walked off the court on them, and like obviously they touched on that in the MJ doc, but like that's just, you have to really like just think about who the Bad Boys Pistons were and what like the attitude they portrayed. Like they spent 3 years just tackling Jordan every time he touched the ball. So it's like, do you think they want to stay and shake his hand? No, they're called the Bad Boys Pistons for a reason. Like they had that persona that they had to keep, and like, yeah, they're gonna walk off the court. They're not gonna stand there and shake his hand. And like, yeah, like you can see the disrespect in that, but like that's just who that team was.
yeah, I mean, and that's what made that era of basketball so awesome too, is like the physicality. Obviously, like there's I mean, sports evolve, sports change, and the thing that like I can't stand that I've also seen out of this is like boomer Twitter, if you want to call it that. Like essentially anybody who actually watched MJ, is like, oh, like look at the play, look at like how dirty and this kind of stuff, and it's like, okay, I get it, but like now, just because now there's more finesse in the way people play doesn't mean it's like any easier. Like, it doesn't mean the game, like, athletes are bigger, stronger. It's like anything else. Like, it's like time goes along, things get better. So it's just like, for me, that's where there's definitely that disconnect in the eras that obviously, like, we will have the MJ LeBron debate until who knows how long, maybe 15 years. Zion has insane numbers, for the most likely. I don't think it. Okay, personal opinion aside, him being the most likely candidate, like, what will be said then, and we just won't know, because I will have watched LeBron. My daughter will grow up watching Zion, but for example's sake, like, she will know Zion dominance. So it'll be interesting, and I'm really excited to see like what the future holds for sports. But yeah, there's no way to measure it. I mean, there's no war. I mean, for basketball. So, Yeah, it's been interesting. What do you have like a couple favorite scenes you wanna touch on?
Uh, yeah, obviously, like the Horace Grant scene was a crowd favorite, talking about that walk off and referencing the Pistons team. Um, it was unbelievable that Dennis Rodman asking for a vacation and then just going and living it up in Vegas with Carmen Electra for 2 days and then coming back and then they had to do conditioning because he just ripped up Vegas so hard that he was out of shape after 2 days.
And then okay, and then I love how after that they cut to Michael and then he goes, "Yeah, we're all jogging. I tell everybody to slow down." And he busts by everybody and makes them run more. So like he didn't like fully lose like a whole lot, it sounds like. It sounds like he stayed pretty fit while he was letting Karma Electra have it from behind probably, but
He was getting,
oh
I
dude.
imagine he was still getting his cardio in during that trip.
Oh, certainly, certainly. I know. I love from that too. Just before that is him with the Miller Lite getting on the motorcycle and just deucing out. Like it is such a different era. Like
Yeah.
what a guy. I'm really glad. I'm really glad they portrayed Rodman in the way they did, and not like this psychopath. He's
Hmm.
just. I mean, he's just different and he's just honest, man. I mean, that's like what it is at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, he's like again with the golf reference, he's like the John Daly of the NBA. He like shows up, he does his job how he wants to do it, and he just doesn't care.
Yeah, and he does it fucking well, man. He does. Like I know a couple of the years like I couldn't give you it, but he had like won 7 rebounding titles in a row, and none was by like they were all by 3 or more rebounds, I believe. Like 15, 16, 17 rebounds. I know like 2 years in a row he out rebounded Shaq like 3 or 4 rebounds in a row. Like that's insane. Like Shaquille, like the guy is like considerably taller. Like what? Like the
And
guy can stand and dunk, and you're out rebounding this guy. So yeah, I was glad that they didn't make Rodman out to be a psychopath. Um, I just like it's just one. I'm excited for the next one. I guess the next episode 5 is gonna be that we'll watch on Sunday is has Kobe in it. Um, so I'm wondering what's gonna be in with that. I'm sure there's spoilers everywhere. I just haven't seen them. I didn't have the time today to look at that, but um, I'm really interested. I'm glad they showed the Pistons in the way. I'm really interested in what they have to say about Kobe, and how they'll work him into it, and where you go from here. Because I mean, like for all the jumping around they've done, they're in January of '98 for that final season. Like you only have like 4 or 5 months of games to go. Like jumping back and forth. Like you only have so much time left to cover, and you still have 6 more hours of film to do it. Like, what's going on here? You know?
yeah, I just know I'll never uh not trust ESPN when it comes to documentaries because they're usually the best in the business here. So I don't know what they've got cooking, but I know it's going to be electric. So I'm just ready for the rest of it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be nutty. I can only imagine the takes people are gonna have, the things they're gonna say, like what kind of crap people are gonna be saying. Just like anything can fly at this point. Um, all right. I think that puts to bed the MJ doc. Let's talk about you and me for a second. Let's get a little personal. So if you I'll set the stage here. So if you don't follow at Student Youth Sports on Twitter, first of all, you need to. Second of all, you probably do because that's where we post post the show. Um, give a retweet, give a like. We'd appreciate that. That aside, was it last Friday? We had your boy Harrison, aka Shooter Sillings, quarterback Arizona State, current, uh, and he had a game against Colorado, and then another game after that where I was doing the play-by-play. So that was great. That was great. my Wi-Fi is terrible, so hopefully it can continue being like something average. I think, as you mentioned before, I think tomorrow we're going to try to do the same big game against ranked Washington squad. So that's going to be huge, especially with Arizona State's bowl ineligibility, correct?
Yeah, bowl ineligibility.
So,
I think we're
from
2-7.
That's not from recruiting violations. That's from just from bad play. So, first of all, what do you have to say for yourself on that?
For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, I have a blog series going on studentunionsports.com. Check it out. It's called the NCAA 13 Chronicles. And it's the story of a 3-star quarterback out of Adrian, Michigan, named after myself, which might have been a mistake in hindsight. But his name is Harry Sillings. He's been given the nickname Shooter because he's a gambler on the field. But we're in the last 2 games of the sophomore season. We're sitting at 2-7, I believe, which, if you're keeping track at home, is not good. He's a turnover machine currently, and we're really just trying to figure it out. We're really on a road to glory right now, and I don't really know where it's going.
We're on a road to glory, all right. That is. Oh man, yeah. That's a pretty. Sometimes it can be a tough scene watching Shooter just sling the rocks, sling the pigskin.
The one thing I will say about Shooter is that he is never out of the game. No matter how many mistakes he makes, he is always within reach of a final comeback drive in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, and it's just a matter of if he gets it done or throws another interception.
And more times than not, it's the latter.
Seven times it's been the interception, but the 2 games we have won. Oregon State, Hoppo came on to call the play-by-play for the last 4 minutes of that game. It was pretty much a silent and very awkward stream for the 15 people that tuned in. Before that, I apologize. But the last 40 seconds of that game, we got a nice 40-yard touchdown pass. And the Notre Dame game, the upset win over number 9 Notre Dame at home, was another late fourth quarter drive. We've had a few beatdowns by Wisconsin and Stanford and USC, but for the most part, he's always in it. He's just gotta figure out why there's a ball magnet on every defending DB's chest, because that seems to be where all his clutch passes go.
Yeah, it's maybe we need to get him some LASIK like Jameis Winston.
There's rumors around Tempe is that they are starting to call him Jameis instead of Shooter.
Yeah, the Sun Devil fans are getting the pitchforks ready. I can imagine. Depending on going into next season, the success. Oh, that is really tough. Hopefully, we can edit that out. The success is very important to that fan base. So we got Shooter Stillings. Hopefully that'll be tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll be able to join him on the call. It's pretty entertaining, especially because the lagging of my internet doesn't always sync up with the play. So then I have to double check to see if it sounds like it's syncing with the play. And we have producer Liam, who's not on tonight, unfortunately, but he'll be commenting in the Periscope and the Twitter chat. So
yeah, if you can't hop on, there's really no point in doing it, because then it just becomes an empty stream with me saying, "Oh, another interception," or "Oh, look, you fumbled," or "Dang it, come online, block." It's very cringy. So if it happens, it's because Hop is called doing play-by-play. If not, then it's probably just getting written down in a blog, because I have the itch and I haven't played in a week.
Wow, that is interesting. I'm surprised, but yeah, hopefully, I believe we'll be good to go for tomorrow night. So stay tuned to that. That'll be on the Student Union Sports Twitter Periscope. So just open up your Twitter. I don't know, my Periscopes show up at the top, so look there, or just search at Student Youth Sports on Twitter. I'm going to do a little shameless self-promotion with my own. I'm on NCAA 14. Go ahead. I don't know how much I want to give or how much I want to leave it in the dark.
I got it. Our boy, yeah. Hoppa, He's also got a young high school stud out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I hope I don't slaughter this name because it's a bit Dutch. Joop Plesek. Is that how you say that?
I know, I know it. I think it's Jupe. I think it's either Plesac or Plesac. There was like a little thing over the S. I don't know, dude.
Neither of us are very cultured. But Joop, you can follow him on Twitter at Joop Plesek. I think it is JOOPPLESAC on Twitter. Give him a follow.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sure he's the only person of that name, so if you kind of get it close, it's probably going to show up. If not, go to my Twitter and look at the latest people I followed, and he's probably in like the top 6. Anyways, Jupe posted a little highlight video today, hype video you could call it. He's starting to rake in some offers. It looks like he's got the Sun Devils. He could be joining Harry for his junior campaign, which would be something. Little bruiser running back out of the backfield. He's got basically the town just over in East Lansing, the Spartans of Michigan State, and then a little south down. I can't think of my Michigan highways right now. That's kind of embarrassing. We're down 131, maybe. I don't remember. But over in Kalamazoo, he's got the Broncos. He's got 3 offers right now. It's going to be interesting to see where Jupe ends up next fall.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And, a lot of other teams have been calling Jupe. They say they're asking, they're interested. So, yeah, at Jupe, Plesac, whatever. We got to come up with it. I was thinking we got to come up with a nickname for Jupe. I don't know, Jupe the Jeep. I don't know if that's the play or what, but we'll figure that out. There will be a blog with it, so if you don't follow me, go ahead and follow me, or hopefully the Student Union Sports Twitter page tweets that up. But there will be a blog coming along with more of a detailed backstory. I'm really trying to become an immersive. This is whole thing. So, a little shameless self plug there. I haven't fully decided how the whole thing is going to work, so you're just going to have to stay tuned. But it's going to be a joyride, that's for sure. Man, I'm just excited. So excited. I got the PS3 back to play now. So I just got the itch too.
Hold on. Oh, we have a final in the NCAA 14 world. Coach Doug survived a scare against, 20th ranked Arizona, I believe. He ended up pulling out a nail biter, 36-30. So props to Coach Doug's. He whooped my butt, Harry Silling's butt at Arizona State a few weeks back, and he's currently in nail biter with number 13 Stanford. So we'll keep you updated if that one goes final. We're still recording 14-14 early in the second quarter.
Love it, man. That's big. We love our Coach Doug's on this podcast. We are a pro Doug's podcast. That is for sure.
Pro Doug's podcast.
Oh boy, producer Lilium is gonna have a fun time editing this one out. Let's talk a little bit. We had our draft. We had Cody and Bucky, aka Andrew, which I will never ever call him. We had Bucky and Cody on, our draft experts. That was an awesome episode. Pretty much minus myself out there for a while. But yeah, what an interesting draft for my Packers. I understand the first 2 picks. I don't understand the third. And then from there out, they pretty much drafted team needs. So I'm going to all I'm going to say here for myself, and then we can talk about how we are now extra linked after this. But I am at, Rodgers is roughly an injury away from being done, is my guess. Contract stuff, it basically Love has a year or 2 left by the time Rodgers is technically done. So there's that. As far as AJ Dillon, I kind kind of really liked this pick. I'm not afraid to say it, man. AJ Dillon is a beast. You know, I hate to say it, but it definitely Jupe Plazak could definitely be, I'm not trying to go too early in his senior year of high school, but there's some similarities there. 5'11", 220. Absolute wagon for an ass. But some are saying it. I didn't say it. Some are saying it. But you have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams going into their contract years as rookies. You draft Dillon, a pretty deep running back class. Everybody's talking about how deep the wide receiver class is. This is a running back class with a lot of talent. So I like what Goot did there. Truthfully, because you're either gonna sign Aaron for a lot of money and then you'll just basically do what you've been doing with Jamal and Aaron with Dillon instead, or you get rid of both and you have your feature back. Who knows? That's where I sit. I don't enjoy picking a 6th round projected tight end in the 3rd round and then being later told that he might also play fullback. Not a huge fan of that. But let's just focus on the positive. That's all I'm gonna have to say about that. My Wisconsin boys, though, one of them, Jonathan Taylor, goes to your Indianapolis Colts, and if we didn't already have a great relationship, we have just become that much closer, Harry. Talk to me about JT and the Colts.
Yeah, so the pick itself made absolutely no sense. I'll just get that out early. When I made my Colts mock, I did not have running back on the board for them at all. It's not really even a need with Marlon Mack, and really no one in the world would have projected that the Colts are taking a running back anywhere in this draft unless they were taking a gamble in like the 7th round. So when I saw that the Colts traded up in the 2nd round, me and our boy Jonathan Terry at Terry Aki, spelled really weird on Twitter. He's one of our bloggers. He's a fellow Colts fan, and our immediate reaction was, well, we got Jalen Hurts, and then it shows up. He goes, he got it right before I did, and he goes, Jonathan Taylor, and I screamed because if you watched our draft preview episode when Hoppa was on baby duty, when we gave our goats of the draft, went with the sleeper goat and said Jonathan Taylor was the best running back and a future Hall of Famer. So a guy that I'm that high on in the Colts backfield, he's probably going to split carries with Marlon Mack this season before the Colts let Mack go after this year. And then he's just going to be the feature back behind the best offensive line in the NFL. So I can't be happier about that. And then you have Pittman and Hilton. And then you got Phillip Rivers for a year, and then it looks like Jacob Eason's getting the keys to the kingdom after that. Looks like Hoppa's goo eyeing at his baby.
Yes, damn, go here, sweetie pie. Oh, come up over the camera.
We've got Baby Hoppa's 2nd appearance on the show. Welcome back, Baby Hoppa.
Say thank you, hi. Say. The Packers stunk the draft up. They're the worst team in the league.
What's Baby Hoppa's thoughts on JT to the Colts?
I love Jonathan Taylor. He's a favorite running back all time. Power, speed, agility. He's got it all. Vision included. He's the best ever. That's what we.
Okay, yeah, this is getting a little weird. Liam's gonna be watching this back, editing it, being like, I let these guys go loose one time and they just go wild.
It's gonna be like, get a leash on these kids. But so yeah, I mean, I loved Indy's draft, and did you just fucking burp on camera? Are you kidding me? Sound like me after she spit up on camera too. Look like me after I have too many Trulies, babe. Anyways, we have a great draft from the Colts, and my leg's warm. She might also be peeing right now. I don't know. We have a great draft from the Colts. The show must go on. We have, we have Mama also trying to help out now. We're gonna play through the contact. You love to see this kind of determination and focus from a 5-month-old. Colts have a great draft. I can definitely see myself. Indy's not too far. I believe it's Sunday the 22nd of September if we have the season like we hope. Yeah, you're a stud, kid. Hopefully maybe Harry and I can get a live show in or something like that. I mean, we live a lot closer, but in Indy would be sick.
Here's the idea. I go to school in Chicago, assuming sports are allowed to have fans by then. The Colts play in Chicago against the Bears this year, and I happen to have like a $200 or $250 gift card courtesy of Ticketmaster from an Instagram giveaway I won. So there could be something in the works there.
Let's go! You can't come.
No.
No, okay. You got pissed. I can tell. You're going to wake me up at 5 in the morning again. Okay.
What is going on?
I don't know what's going on with the kid, but I do know what's going on for Dad later. Yeah, you see this? Oh, yeah. It's original lemonade. That is truly hard seltzer. All right, it's our favorite segment of the week. Our truly outstanding performance of the week. I'm gonna say it's Baby Hoppa. Baby Hoppa has the truly performance of the week, spitting up on herself, sticking through, keeping the eye contact with the camera, shaking off the defenders. Look at her. She's something else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my truly hard seltzer outstanding performance of the week. Who is yours, Harry?
Oh man, I think we just gotta keep it in the family and give it to Mama Hoppa for providing us plenty of questions for the show. For the show this week, she pretty much covered our bases on the MJ doc.
Perfect. So we all swept the weekend, or swept the week, swept Wednesday. We got bedtime coming up here. Daddy's got to finish his truly hard seltzer. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We got an appearance from the cat's shadow in the bottom left there, just coming down. It's a zoo in this house right now. We appreciate you people listening. Go ahead, follow Harrison at Twitch_35 on Twitter. Follow myself, follow Student Union Sports. Go check out the blog series, the NCAA 13 Chronicles. From Harrison, follow at Jupe Plasak, aka Jupe the Jeep. Go check out his highlight video. From Baby Hoppa, Mama Hoppa, other Mama Hoppa, Harrison. Yeah, have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday.